Duke Luca Abel tore down the original palace in Karnaca, where his father once pinned a medal to my chest. Over the ruins, the Duke built a structure that cost enough to feed everyone in Serkonos for years. A sprawling estate to humble all others, a monument to his ego.
I like his house.
I owe it to
It's
the
a nice
people
looking
of my
house.
homeland to make
It
this
is totally a nice looking house.
In Dunwall,
It's a
we were content to look the
monstrosity.
other way as long
I
as
want
the
that house.
silver kept flowing.
I mean, it's only got 2 bedrooms,
Get
but
inside the Grand Palace,
you could probably
deal with the
convert,
Duke,
like,
and find a way to
the
steal
throne room
Delilah's
into...
It does look a bit out of place modern, though, I have to say.
But, I mean, that's kind of cool. He's like an avant-garde duke.
Either that or nouveau riche. I'm gonna go with the latter, personally.
No, it's super cool. It's just very 21st century.
This is my last night.
Can you feel it? This is my last night. You deserve peace, my love. I stayed too long.
Pretty sure that
It's
isn't how that song
going
goes,
too
though.
fast.
You know, it was in The Lion King, which meant, I don't know, maybe a fair cop.
I don't understand.
It's not that complicated, really.
Just in case you forgot, you're carrying around the heart.
Yeah, like, none of us have really used the heart that much this playthrough, so I feel like this entire point should have more emotional impact than, strictly speaking, it does for us.
That's
We're
the
just
entire
like,
game,
oh, right.
It should have more emotional impact than it does.
I get good use out of it. I'll be using it a bit after this mission because it becomes increasingly funny to use it.
Yeah, like, after this mission, it's just hilarious.
It becomes
Is it?
a
I
very,
don't recall.
a very salty heart.
Yeah, there's a pretty good shift that happens in the heart. I mean, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say it. It's
No!
Oh no, you're not!
No!
I'm bleeping everything you
Alright,
say out!
fine.
How
Don't.
about that,
See,
huh?
this
How
is-
about that,
this is-
huh? I'm replacing you with
This is
clown
why
music.
I wind up before I deliver my knockout punches, so people can interrupt me like we're in a Transformers fight scene. Just like, I have you now, Optimus, and then Robokai's just like, no, I am Bumblebee.
I'll replace you with clown music. I swear I'll do it.
Oh, did you know they're making a Bumblebee movie now? It's very strange. It looks like they're making it a love story.
Oh, that was definitely something that damaged my psyche just hearing it.
It's strange. Watch the trailer.
They have a term for that. It's
I never
clang.
liked the Abbey.
It's the new B movie. And
What?
tell
I
me
think
there's
they will
not actually a
instead
term for that.
Not do that.
Clang?
Falling to pieces now.
That's not.
Speaking
That's
of
not
Bumble,
real. That's not a thing.
Let's play Dishonored 2 High Chaos.
Palace.
Still Bumbles the
Bumble
assassin.
Kite.
Oh no, wait, it's Bumbles the thief. That's me. You're Stumbles the assassin.
Very nice. It's a very nice sketch of Corvo.
Yeah.
He's like me. He
Building now.
must like the sketches more than the
building now.
actual painting.
I do kind of like the. I don't know. There's a certain abstract quality to Sokolov's sketches that I feel like gets lost when he colors everything in.
He's a legitimately good artist.
Oh yeah, no doubts to that one.
Or at least the artist who pretends to be Sokolov for the purposes of this game.
Also a good way of talking that through.
No, I really have to say the actual art in this game is consistently fantastic.
Yeah, they have some amazing artists on retainer, and they apparently prompt them incredibly well. Like that's a lot of the thing that goes into getting great art out of people is giving them good reference, giving them good communication, and it's very clear that the communication with Arcane's artists is always top notch because it's so consistently good. There's no mistake in how amazing the process is out there.
But with the excitement.
I like how you're sitting on Megan's bed listening to her, like, reminisce about...
What I did.
I mean,
That
for
seems
no
like a very
reason, just
natural
into
thing
a
to do.
voice recorder.
Just
Like-
bobbing your ankle.
Yeah. Is this the really long one? Are you gonna sit here the whole time?
And even a couple
Yeah.
of men.
I think
She's
so.
like,
Do
Delilah.
you realize who you're talking to here?
Deirdre.
This is a very important story, actually.
It is, but
Yeah.
it's so long, and they don't give you anything to do while you stand there and listen to it.
So I'm sitting on the bed and just
I
letting
know.
the ship bob.
That kept me from the bottom of the river.
Ba, 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 ba,
Got
ba.
dark there.
On a pile
You're like
of garbage
clipping your nails.
awning as long as she was there with me. Sharing a tin of potted meat or a bottle of
Potted meat.
She does the wistful tone very well, I will say.
little brother came
It
through.
kind of sounds like she's been smoking really heavily right before this, though. Like, there's this weird rasp to her voice that I
That's
don't
my
remember
shtick.
in most of her lines.
The Duke goaded his brother, calling us.
I'm not touching that. I'm just gonna let you have that one.
Brother who swung the stick that killed her.
At one point, she says, "Pretty little Deirdre," and it just reminds me of in Sin City when she goes, "Your precious little neck," and like tries to bite the lady's neck.
As if
I've never seen Sin City.
I've
I
seen
can
it
never
too
hear
much.
of anybody named Deirdre without thinking of Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri.
lying in the muck.
Mm-mm.
She was the crazy nature one, right?
She led Gaia's stepchildren. Yes, she was like objectively one of the least crazy of all of the leaders.
I mean,
which
in
really
the
puts that
end.
into perspective.
Like I was cursed.
How bloody insane everybody was in that freaking game.
Everyone knew I'd bring
I
trouble.
blame the worms.
I remember reading in the library a book set in Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri, like there was a novelization of it.
To get back at
And it was surprisingly not bad
pretty.
and really dark for something aimed at like 12-year-olds.
Nothing.
You'd be surprised what you can get away with young adult fiction.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why is it always called Sid Meier's something or other?
Because his name sells half of the copies.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that I actually, like, everything is, I don't know. I played his pirate game and that was it. And I'm like, it's Sid Meier's pirate game. But I'm like, who's Sid Meier? I don't know. But it's not like Todd Howard's Fallout 4 or whatever.
Damn, Corvo waxing poetic over here.
Puzzle. You've also got to find whatever it is he's keeping for Delilah.
You were cryptic about what you gleaned from visiting the
He's
dust
keeping
district,
something in his pants
which
for
is
Delilah.
The world is better with a hint of mystery.
I went back in time and made everything worse, Sokolov. I lean in close. That's why Megan still has no arm.
You're a shitty scientist, Sokolov.
Oh my god, the smile he had while he said that. Just,
Duke Bell
I
is going to
couldn't.
regret it.
I
You all
couldn't.
deserve to bleed.
Do they? Do they
calm down.
really?
Edgy.
Yeah, and then they give us a map. Yeah, so I did quite like that story that Megan Foster tells in the thing. It is definitely another case of Megan Foster is one of the most important people in Dishonored. Without you even
That
realizing
nobody
it.
really knows.
Royal protector.
I feel like they could have delivered it better than just in an audio recording, though.
I'm just increasingly convinced that Megan Foster was meant to be the main character of this at some point in development, and they scrapped it, and that's Death of the Outsider comes in.
So there's a lot that goes into that. There were many stories that they ended up having written that could have eventually become Dishonored 2, and one of them was originally like a Corvo only story, one of which was originally an Emily only
Ready to
story.
visit the Duke?
And I have very little doubt that there were more that were bonking around with Megan, more that were bonking around with Dowd, so on and so on and so forth. Like
I'm sad they never did the Sokolov one, which is probably going to be called
The
Disoriented.
Duke has a local.
You spend your entire time with just having random seizures because of how fucking old you are.
Oh.
She says he's a nice guy.
That's just like having the radiation effect from
shitty
prey
job.
on you. It's fine.
Pretending
Or
to be kind like
or
Duke
if you play Dying Light,
Why
those
don't they
seizures
just
that you
overthrow
get
him?
at certain points in the story
He's
because you're
got an
turning into a
army,
zombie.
control of
That's
the
also what
mines,
happens.
And he's had your support from
Complete
the
with
capital.
the
the
shouting of
Duke's
"Oh
orders.
no, not now!"
It's very Far Cry 2 2.0.
Yeah, the entire
made me want to be back on the
malaria
streets
setup that I had.
You're forgetting what that's like.
It was a good game, though.
I watched
Both
those
of them,
party
actually.
lights from the roof of the abandoned butcher shop where I slept. in the flooded district.
I know you struggle.
Maybe Megan left all those voice recordings and journal things for you, like, on purpose. She's like, I don't know how to tell you, so I'm gonna leave you all these hints.
Being in Karnaka
And then, like,
again has given me perspective.
maybe it makes more sense that way.
Laid it on a bit thick,
After
Corvo.
you've eliminated the Duke, find what he's holding for Delilah and take it. When you're finished, I'll pick you up in the skiff.
I will know this psychically.
I don't want to take what the Duke's got for Delilah.
That was one of the few times where Megan sort of chiding Corvo actually sort of works and makes sense. Because, yeah, it's like, oh man, I really hated those parties. And it's like, yeah, but you know, you still had a roof over your head. Everybody else had to, like, you know, put up with you know, terrible horror hell of, like, shit and garbage and poverty. And
Yeah, it's
like,
not overtly saying check your privilege, but you know, by the same token, it's just like, yeah,
Yay!
did you
Whoa.
just kill a number of rats with a fish slice?
He did. It's like my fish head trick.
that was for eating all the
Okay.
civilians last time. I don't trust them anymore.
So I am definitely buckled in for the insanity that portends.
It's got to get where it's going. That's why they call it the black market. Can't just sit here.
Good to know.
That's what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense, bro.
To the shop. Betty afraid we'll get caught? The guy that runs
Betty.
the shop is nervous. But if they just let us move it straight off the boat. Now, I got a friend over at the shop. Been running protection for black market shops for years here in Karnaka and over at Color.
No risk. No risk, this cat says, as we have robbed
Basically
like,
no
3 of them
risk.
so far.
That's a secret.
I mean, there's lots of neighborhoods with black market shops. You can't be in all of them at once.
I don't know, they keep making a point of all of the black market shop owners being super suspicious and
Generally
afraid
nice, though.
because we're in the middle of robbing.
Yeah, but like, let's say there's 100 black market shops. Like, at any one time, you're only robbing one of them. Like, what is
I
it?
think
Like, one a
100
day.
Sounds
So,
optimistic.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to see your figuring on exactly the density of this thing.
I'm just
to
using
grant that
100
there's
because it
100.
makes percentages easy.
Okay.
So they've got a
Well, I
99%
mean, I'm going
chance
to
of
go
being
with
fine.
Closer to maybe 10, which changes the percentages drastically.
Yeah, so the thing with this boat is it's locked. The person with the key is off trying to bother the black market, so we'll get that and then magic.
And
can
pick
happen.
locks don't exist, nor do lock picks, so don't worry about that.
Well, they do have a nice crate full of stuff. Well, thank you.
Tivy and Boar.
His wrench is... Oh.
What I do
Get
to
in the
protect
box.
you, dock worker guys, even though I think I
Honestly-
removed the problem anyway.
The fact that you went out of your way to leave them breathing is already more mercy than most people get.
It's more mercy than I expected from you.
Good enough.
If he doesn't do that, though, then they get killed sometimes, so...
It's like some guy having a pee, some guy watching somebody else have a pee. It's a good system they've got going here.
I mean,
Travel in pairs.
legitimately, having a pee was one of the most dangerous things a guard could do when we were playing Dishonored 1.
Damn
whether,
it, I
whether it
gotta
was for
pee!
you shanking them or for me getting really pissed off and leaving them humiliated in something much worse than their own piss.
Oh, blood flies. This is a high chaos.
Dude flies.
High chaos corner.
That doesn't really work.
And a dead beggar. The beggar's already dead. I can't, get the money, give him money, and get information.
Oh no, you could
Ah,
put money
bees.
in his dead hand.
The usual bee
Bees.
screaming. Yeah, you can insert that here. I don't
Corvos.
do much like screaming today, so.
Just swing that sword, whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Oh.
I've got bees in my hair. Life, it just ain't fair. That's what they call the bees in the hair blues.
Oh, his stuff is still there to steal. That's good.
Like a guitar string that follows on that.
I guess that's why they call it the blues.
No.
That's not exactly a blues song. I know it's like a I know what song you were going for.
It's like the light
That's
rock.
No, it's really not. But you teed me up for a blues joke, and if there's one style of music I like in this world, it's the blues. So I'm gonna run with that one.
So you couldn't think of a blues song.
I can think of a blues song, so I just sang Elton John.
You really love
My
blues.
my favorite blues song is actually just a parody of a blues song, and it just starts with "I've got those in the washroom at McDonald's, turning on the tap too fast
Oh,
and
no.
spraying water on your
God.
pants so it looks as though you pissed yourself blues." It goes on from there, but
I've never heard that, and I feel like my life is poorer for
Straight.
it.
well,
Now you
it's
have
straight
heard it.
comedy television from like many years ago, so it's no surprise you haven't heard it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a link for that later, bro.
I don't even know if there is one. I've got it on like a DVD. So this.
Let's see.
Oh
What
no!
are you?
Dang.
Oh, that's
I have
what
made
that
I have
was.
made a mistake. Hep. Excuse me. Oh hey, free
Someone
money.
stop
Oh shit.
putting dice,
Tippy
yo.
taps. Tippy taps away.
Scared, bastard!
Got your hats.
Dude, his hat.
Hat. Scared your head away,
Try to,
didn't you? You just got shot in the head.
Ooh.
Oh, and someone's let out the
Oh.
blood flies from my bone charm, so that's good of it.
Yep.
Someone!
Oop.
Later,
Help
home
me.
That didn't go as planned.
Yeah, they're dead anyway.
I will admit,
Classic
like, it's been
Robokai.
so long since I got caught by a guard tower. I saw that flash and I was just like, what the hell was that? Did you just activate a power?
Yeah, like why is everything suddenly so oh dear?
Yeah, and then everything started kicking off and I was like, need to move now.
Man, there's all these locked doors in this place. I can't believe it.
There's
It's
one.
almost like somebody
one
wants
locked
to
door.
restrict access to this vicinity.
No, you come.
Hey,
here.
you.
Oh my guy!
Let's see what you've got.
You with the pile of bodies around you. I'm gonna run at you.
Keep your distance, he's dangerous.
What?
Tired
I
of
thought
this.
that guy threw a grenade there for a second.
Wind blast.
So I thought I was selecting. I
What
thought
are
I was
you-
selecting
no!
Wind Blast, but apparently I put the heart out instead. I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
And now Jessamine is singing the blues.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I love how he just sort of flopped over after being so incredibly acrobatic and active. He's just like, I'm done trying.
I mean, he did get a sword across the face. So that'd make me stop trying too.
Yeah, I'm very unstealthy this episode, unfortunately.
That's
I
fine.
don't know.
no.
I don't know. It's like
Fortunately, I say entertaining.
Yeah, seriously, like, this is one of the
fuck
two
your safe.
No, he's not.
That was perfect timing.
What
Oh,
happened
punch.
here? Somebody like kind of whining it outside. Oh man.
319.
There we go. 139.
319.
That's what I meant.
I love how they're like, here it is written in colored ink because that's not cheap. It's like I love that. That is so lampshady. I love a good lampshading.
That's funny.
There's
coins
a cute writer
upstairs.
out there, and I appreciate his life or her life.
I'm really sad that there's no actual lamps in here, so I couldn't make a follow-up lampshade joke by, commenting on an actual lampshade.
I've spent like at least 10 minutes once just like playing with that door safe.
Just trying to click it on and off and on and off, and nothing. It doesn't do
Oh,
anything. Do
wow.
a flip!
There's a lot of force in that little crossbow bolt.
Yeah, the bolts fly now, so don't you worry about that. They got
Zoom.
the
You
murder
listen-
range.
Powerful bolts.
Bone charms. You missed a whale oil.
I will say though, like this level and the next level, if you're ever gonna go loud and Dishonored, that's like the two levels to do it in. They are so varied and so fun, and there's so much nonsense that can go wrong because the game finally is like, okay, you're about as powerful as you're going to get. You've seen all of the enemies kind of in vacuum. Now I'm gonna start doing interesting things with them.
What did you get? What did you
This
get? What did you
landing.
get?
If you
Oh
fall
man,
from the
that
sky,
bane of my existence.
yeah, this one's not so good if you want to be stealthy, but absolutely fantastic if you want to just like jump on people because when you land, you have a shockwave going.
Which, by the way, kills people. God forbid you land right next to an unconscious body, cause that will kill him. Ask me how I know.
So many guys just keep turning up to like check on everybody else, and that's like, say that's the explosion, as you can see. It's quite wide. You can see the dust.
That does not take a long fall.
No,
No,
it doesn't.
it really doesn't. It's like it takes a fall about as tall as Corvo is. So, you know, I mean, like, any of these banisters, like, jumping down from midway up that flight of stairs, that'll trigger it.
I'm going to eventually unequip it, not because I don't like the little explodey thing, but because it's actually just really
Annoying.
really kind of annoying, because it locks you in an animation. Excuse me.
Agnes, I done did it again! Robokai 2018.
Locked door number 2.
Oh no. Someone's been coughing for 3 days.
Petronilla.
Witherspoon.
That's not gonna go well for them.
I mean,
Oh, by the way, if you've been robbing stores all this time, black market stores all this time, yeah, these guys wait for you, and well,
Die.
you actually can't get the achievement.
There's another one, though. There's 2 more.
Street Performers songs. If you've been robbing black market stores, because that Howler gang replaces the final set of Street Performers. So, surprise, surprise, that's like one of the only achievements I still don't have on my game. Because I got
it the first time because I just never like stuck around long enough to try and figure out any of the other black market places. I was like, I can't be bothered, so I only did one.
He won't go anywhere.
No, there's
Oh,
still
hi.
a... There you go.
Hi there.
It was really great how you
there's
got the
2
entire
more.
ambush except
There-
the guy who was just hanging out right inside
Guys?
the door.
Time to die.
How do they know you're the thief, though? You walked in the front door.
You look tough.
Well, considering they would be like, what happened
she
immediately?
I want to know what either of them are doing. Their combat AIs are just like completely beefing it right now. Like that guy backed off the entirety of the way out to the hallway,
Finish this.
and the other lady just kind of ran to where I was before. I don't know. They weren't really into it, so
I really appreciate how her howler dust went up as she died.
yeah, that's kind of nice.
I'm pretty sure that,
Oh,
like,
store's open.
they figured out it was you because they would have asked the shop owners if anyone weird was hanging around right before you got robbed, and they all said, pretty lady with
We get
a
ourselves
scarf.
some more fun. So let's
You want blueprints?
take a look at the pistol upgrade.
This is
I
fun
don't
with a capital FU, which is to say anybody who crosses you with that damn pistol at this point.
Yeah, so we've got a good headshotty sniper weapon as it is. So let's give our pistol shotgun power instead. Because
So-
why not?
Yeah, seriously, I think it's one of the weirder things in this game to have a crossbow sniper weapon while the pistol ends up being a damn shotgun. Okay, sure, why not? I'm stupid. I can roll with it.
Well, it's not like you can turn the pistol into a sniper weapon, but you can also turn the crossbow into a machine gun. So it's like, hey, whatever.
It evens out. Although you
Yeah.
just have it as a aimbot.
I mean, that's
I
pretty
love
hilarious.
that thing. I love that aimbot. It is so great. All right, well, I'll be back to rob you.
Close the shop until the dust settles.
That's not gonna help you.
You
Smart
should
decision,
definitely
fella.
close the shop and leave because you're getting robbed one way or another, home slice.
Oh.
Do that in a moment. But first, Shrine of the Outsider.
God, should I go refill my tea?
Reading
Props.
a book.
I'm sure it's nothing important that he has to tell us. So if you really have to go take a tea break. Like a big
No,
wooby.
it's fine. I was just registering my opinion on the outsider.
Ah,
as a whole.
splinters!
Ah, my eyes.
One got under your fingernail.
At the heart of your homeland. A bigger, better palace than the one you sailed away from so long ago. Feeling nostalgic?
No, I said it
He also
sucks.
said that about his corpse when you were at the spot where he died. It's a bigger, better palace than the one I died in so long ago. I'm feeling nostalgic. Grab stick.
Dear Corvo,
What?
would you even have lifted a finger if the Duke hadn't put Emily in harm's way?
I get enough of this from Megan. I don't
mean,
need it from
probably.
you. I don't need it from the guy who's probably responsible for all this shit, because he keeps handing out his mark like candy to people who are like really fucking
One
unstable.
spirit at a time. if you want to walk out with.
Let's review who we know about. Granny Rags, completely insane, talks to rats, likes to eat people.
Oh, now I remember.
Dowd killed the Empress. Delilah tried to infest Emily's body when she was a child and is now doing something else even worse. And Corvo, a man who's just running around stabbing people almost at random. Like, that's 4 from 4. You're a horrible monster.
But those are things that everybody did before they got the Outsider's mark.
Yeah, no, that's he's definitely not contradicting the entire thing with the Abbey saying God exists, but he's a dickhead.
But once the church was right, the church is still full of dickheads. But you know. Anyway, I've got the key to the boat now, so let's go rob the boat.
All of those terrible people did their terrible things after the Outsider gave them their mark. So, is it his fault?
I mean, he's kind of giving them a loaded gun, so I'm gonna go with yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I only gave an AR-15 to a mental patient. How could you possibly consider me at fault here?
Honestly, it's the thing that always sort of most interests me about, like, Meghan Foster in particular, because, you know, like, obviously we've already spoiled who she actually is, many a time.
She spoiled who she actually is.
And it's very heavily telegraphed, but in that way, you know, the Outsider tends to give these powers to people and they become monumentally important and all this other sort of stuff, and, you know, their decisions can basically decide the direction of entire realms. Whereas Billy has been there for pretty much everything, and she's never once caught his eye. She's like, basically everything that's happened to her, everything that she's done, everything that's happened around her, she's been tangentially related to the Outsider, but he has never appeared before or never spoken to her. I just find that interesting. Oh.
Much to her annoyance, by the way, you remember the one encounter in Dowd's DLC where she like idly wonders aloud what he smells like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we explain that's why he doesn't want to go. That's why he doesn't want to go near her, because she skeeves him the fuck out.
She gets real cranky about it in the Death of the Outsider. She's like, "Do you know how long I wanted you to talk to me, and now you're doing this?"
Let's see what this says.
And he's like, "Yeah, go find my sword." So she gets real mad. What was I gonna say? I thought I read, like, somewhere in the lore or whatever, there's, like, 10 people with his mark, and we only know about, like, 4 of them, so the other 6, maybe they're just normal.
I don't think anything... I just don't think anything that, like, the Outsider's powers can make a person do could ever be described as normal. Hello!
Hi, guy. Later, guy.
So that's what the shotgun does.
There's, like,
it
nothing
blows
left of
people
her.
apart.
Head!
She's just stoned with this. You gave her a weed bullet. You loaded a 420 bullet here.
Well, I suppose if you loaded anything into a cannon, it would have that effect.
She's got spaghetti sauce face. She got the
Are we gonna get spotted by this thing again? No.
Nope.
Okay, fine.
Someone else is gonna get spotted. If there's anyone
Let's see if
left.
there's anybody still alive. I think they all actually came running over to see what was going on, so there probably isn't anybody to die anymore.
Well, there's a couple civilians, and then there's maybe the blood flag guy.
And it's always good to have a watchtower at your back.
I swear to God, Robokai, seriously. It was what, like half of your health from an altogether to...
Yeah, but I didn't do the animation, so hey, I would...
Alright, that's fair, I guess. That's weird.
I guess. I like that, like, the logic that I go through to do these really stupid things has finally broken you down.
Yeah, at this point, I just know it's easier on my sanity.
Well, you know, the lady who owned this place, we just killed her, so the sick one she's been given the broth to is probably gonna die soon too, whatever.
Yep.
I'm eating all of her eels.
Yeah, and
Well,
her health potion. Oh, and her bananas.
And her plantains.
Plantain kind of tastes like potatoes. If you people have been wondering what the hell that even is like.
Are you saying it tastes kind of plain?
I'm just gonna let that one breathe.
I'm just gonna eat a potato. Nana. Potato nana.
Why are there feathers by the toilet?
Yeah, there's
you
one
don't know where
guess as to
those
what that
been.
was used for.
Look, I know where birds have been. That's disgusting enough.
Birds are covered with mites all the time.
No, start
Stop
freaking out.
freaking
It's
out.
hilarious.
Well, honestly, there are 100 reasons to freak out, particularly in Karnaka, so...
Bloodfly guy.
If you're not freaking out, that's honestly more strange.
And of course, we're gonna be freaking out a lot more because
Bugs are gross. This guy's gross. Ooh.
Bugman.
shotgun.
Oh, he just disintegrated almost.
The fact that he survived one of those shotgun blasts is pretty incredible, actually.
Well, he was at a further away range.
And also there was
I don't know how
flies
much
in the
that
way.
helps,
10 feet
Maybe they
away.
caught
That
some.
is close enough.
But the other lady who got everything like completely blasted off of her body, hers was a case of more that she was definitely in get murdered range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was her head and 2 limbs. I'm pretty sure I saw.
She was doing a sort of a Billy impersonation. It's fun.
More limbs than you want to lose in it.
This bloodfly guy, you can get him out of this apartment, but only onto the watchtower, and then that he doesn't know what to do
and
on
then
the
you can teach him to
watchtower.
use a machine gun.
Well, if you
teach him
try
to use
and
a
pull him
rocket
back
launcher.
onto another balcony, like his AI doesn't know what to do, so he just goes unconscious immediately. It's very disappointing.
That's great.
It's like, if you don't know what to do, just have it.
But the way I'm characterizing that is that he's like ridiculously agoraphobic, but he also just loves watchtower machine rocket launchers so much that if you put him on top of a machine rocket launcher, it makes him forget about his agoraphobia for a little bit. That's the way I'm characterizing that, that weird AI.
It's like a giant bloodfly. Look how red its light is.
Also, are none of us gonna comment on the weird Dodd fanfiction?
I saw
it's
the
real.
I saw
it's a real
the painting
story.
where he was like 30 years younger and a hell of a lot more handsome than he ever was. Yeah, I thought that was another one we should probably just let breathe, because seriously, I'm not sure where we could go with that. That doesn't end in some dark places.
I prefer the Dowd Fanfic Club to the Regents any day.
Yep.
I think
I like how he had a huge portrait of Dad, like Sokolov.
there's a joke to be made about Dowd ending up in dark places.
Boom!
He's gonna.
I like
he's
the
gonna,
I like
Meghan.
the captain just sitting there.
He's gonna stick
kicking
his knife in
kicking his-
things.
his-
No, he's got a helmet.
yeah, just kicking his ankles like he's 2
Oh.
years old.
It went through his helmet.
Is he? Oh, okay.
He's dead.
For a minute there, I thought he had like that shitty bald on top only thing, you know, like you see on Franciscan monks. But that was just, you know, his brain leaking out.
That's called male pattern baldness.
So that was by all accounts one of the major. Oh, I'm dying. Hold on. One of the major things you have to do during this run is like turning off that wall of light. We haven't really explained what we're trying to do as we get to the palace, because it's just
You don't
another
have
big
to.
sandbox transitional area.
You don't have to
of
turn
which
off the wall
Dishonored
of
2
light.
has many. You
Yeah,
don't have to,
there's-
but it's one of the things you can do.
Yeah, like this entire first area is very much like the introductory area to Royal Conservatory, where you have this big city area that you need to navigate, but it doesn't actually have anything to do with where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Also, good work. You nearly cratered yourself.
Nearly's not good enough.
Almost counts in horseshoes.
That
And hand
watchtower
grenades.
hasn't killed anybody else yet. Is the watchtower gonna kill somebody for you yet?
Anybody?
Ow.
Hello.
What the hell did you do?
There was a
face
pointy thing.
planted a
Hi.
spike.
Oh my god, the one pointy thing on that entire
There we
Excuse me,
go.
I have to go.
fence.
Bye. You were asking for it. So there you go.
That was good. That was
Okay.
worth the wait.
Yeah, it's all right. I deliver.
Oh man.
See, all this falling off of stuff, I can eat all of this stuff guilt free.
I have seen juggling shows at circuses that weren't as good as that one. Hi, civilian. Bye, civilian. You gave us your money.
It's like Megan's giving us Megan's giving us this big old speech about, like, you know, how poor everyone is, etc., etc., and I'm just like, yeah, I understand. I'll have a better perspective when I go back to Karnaka. Lifts her wallet.
Steals everybody's pocket change.
Totally gonna do it.
Shouldn't have made them magnetically
Finance
attached.
your rebellion somehow. Think
These
of it
guys have
as,
money too.
direct taxation.
Direct taxation, okay.
Duke Corvo
I'll go with that.
Atano, the first of his name.
Royal tax collector.
So we need to go rob the black market now, I think. I'm not sure if I remember this. I honestly don't remember what I was doing.
You don't have the
Here's the code.
Yeah, he got the code from the ship. It was
Oh,
on the
you don't have to
audio
go to
log.
the
It's
other
that
apartment, do
stupid
you?
Tivian
That's right.
wine is better than Zirconan prison.
Yeah, that's
wine
right.
and prison.
Other way
That's
around.
the important part here. Okay, great.
Yeah. So you got bone chums, and I still gotta raid the black market. We'll get there. We'll get there. I just live an exciting lifestyle of running around not knowing what I'm doing.
You're just living in the moment, okay? It goes with the territory.
The moving man with his moving guards.
I really appreciate how apparently the state guards are so
making me
ubiquitous
pull out
you
the
can
heart
sort
for
of
some
hire
reason.
them.
I'm like, what the fuck? Well,
That dude is out of here.
Oh, you're not getting away so
I was
easy.
only doing that so I wouldn't kill the civilian. So it's like,
He saw that stun mine and he booked it. What? Oh.
I'm a little bit sad you didn't put that stun mine or great work. There goes the leg.
Legs.
I need to
yeah.
kill this sleeping man. How should I do this? Saws off leg.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's what I do.
I feel like it'd wake him up before it would kill him, though.
Yeah,
but
he'd wake up hopping mad.
You saw how fast that was.
God damn it,
You
Robokai.
just sit there going, did he plan that? That whole thing?
You don't know what you're doing from moment to moment in this video. No, that was your purely chaotic sense of humor doing what it does best.
Okay. Just wanted to spread the seed. I just wanted to spread the seeds of doubt a little. Like, just, you know, like, is he...
I've been working with you for like half a decade now. I can recognize some things anyway.
Give me that bone charm. What is it? Electrical Boist.
That one increases the
like
radius
stun
of
mine
discharges.
Yeah,
yes.
so it's...
I got this one early in my playthrough, and I've absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how like an early bone charm find can really
Grab
dictate
those
how your
hard
road goes
drugs,
for a long
Corvo.
time.
Strong arms for life.
I hate you, Rose.
Strong arms.
Finally,
First
only got that,
mission.
like 2/3 the way through the damn game.
I love that.
Get
I
those
got
done robots off of the streets. This is David
Where they
Cage's.
shoehorn in a slur for them.
David Cage's Detroit.
Clankers.
the clankers.
Honestly, like when I read that one, I flashed back to bloody what is it? Binary domain. Binary domain. I flashed back
With
to
Bo,
binary
your best
domain.
friend?
Binary domain is still like the most amazingly stupid story, and it's definitely something
love
we're gonna
it.
have to let's play sometime.
It's so great.
Yeah,
It's
like
brilliant in just how it just goes to this one place and then like doesn't deign to really explain exactly why the hell like this revelation is supposed to make sense or be believable or why anyone should even care, but you know, like it's still amazing.
It just twists its back around 180 degrees and then continues to walk forward while it's looking directly behind itself, and it pretends like everything is fine. And I love the game for it. The thing that always reminded me of it though is because there's so many great slurs you can come up with for the robots in that game, but they only ever use scraphead. Like, come on now. I take
That's
it as
just
a
a
personal
reach.
challenge. Well, I take it as a personal challenge to never use the same what is it called? Slur for a robot twice.
Yeah. Ground glider makes you sneak faster. Oh, slide faster, sorry. So yeah, which is like
It's fun.
Sick.
These guys have
Yo, give me them
5
salts.
bathing salts. 5
yeah,
bathing
this guy
salts.
loves his bathing salts. He also
it's
really
the hard
likes his safe.
drugs. They
You know,
like to
and he's-
give
1,
themselves.
2, 3.
Posing with said safe.
Yeah, with the combination on it, which I really appreciate. I like a good
It's
safe
very
puzzle like
helpful.
It took me a really long time to figure that one out when I first played this game. So I was
Yeah.
looking for a
I've,
note or something, you know.
I've solved it relatively quickly just because I've done some runs so far. It's just 1, 2, 3. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was-
You think a guy who makes safes would understand? That's the first thing anybody tries.
Honestly, like initially, I was sort of like, oh wait.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm going to rub the black market later on the way out. That's right. So anyway, that was our adventures in stepping everybody on the way to seeing the Duke. Next time we will stab the Duke.
Stab the dude.
Stab all the Dukes. It's fine.